How fantastic. Welcome,
Cool.
everybody, to another episode of Pixels to Politics. Tonight is a jam-packed episode where we examine some of the effects of tariffs, all of the wars going on. We got some nice little pop culture stuff, and a mess of bombings and shootings that have taken place across the world.
Dude. And Israel. And Israel.
Yep, Israel. Yep, we always got something on
And JD
Israel.
Vance killed the Pope. Vance killed the Pope.
And okay. We can start with the Pope if you would like, but I want to start with RFK. All right, we'll start with the Pope. So the Pope is dead.
The Pope.
Pope is dead. I'm not like too crazy on the Pope lore, other than some people considered this Pope too woke, and coincidentally, a day before he died, JD Vance had visited him. So it's not that surprising he passed. He's been in the hospital. He had breathing trouble, I think for like the past month, maybe even more now, and his health just wasn't looking, too good at all.
But he could have survived all of that if it wasn't for Vance.
Sure, whatever Vance did on his visit really, pushed him over the edge.
I'll tell you what he did. Vance wearing Vance tie Pope.
What? Huh?
Look at what he's wearing. Look at what he's wearing. He's wearing a yellow tie. And guess what tie means? Yellow tie symbolism.
Okay, you're just running with this.
No, hold on. Wikipedia. Where's Wikipedia?
Wikipedia. It said it was the color of optimism and energy or something.
No, not today. Where is it? Where is it? No, wait, I just had it. The yellow flag. Wait, the yellow flag. Yellow flag. I got this, Doug. 1 second. Yellow flag.
I really wish you would get
Contagion. Guess what? The flag represents the letter Q. That's right. It was Q all along that killed him.
Represents the letter
Vance,
Q.
which means Vance is Q.
Oh, shit.
See?
Yes, Pope is dead.
Yeah, Vance killed him.
There's some new election, or not a new election process, but the new one will be elected. I don't know how it works, to be honest with you. I'm very unfamiliar. I don't, quite frankly, I just don't care. I know this.
Does it really matter?
I don't know. I don't know if it matters. That's why, it's obviously worth mentioning. But I only know the Pope is someone who randomly says stuff about world conflicts as if it should matter. He came out in opposition of the invasion of Palestine, and he said that, they should stop killing each other on Russia and Ukraine. But I don't really see how any of that's kind of relevant for him. So...
Oh my God, Doug, look at how humble Pope Francis was. He carried his own luggage, he paid his hotel bill, and he lived in a guest house.
Whoa.
Crazy. Oh my God, he was so humble.
Wow.
As he was standing right next to the golden chariots inside of the holy temple that's bigger than the size of any mansion in the United States. What a humble guy.
He's so humble.
We really should...
He's so humble.
Also, I think
the humblest Pope.
I think we should add some context here. First off, the reason why Catholicism and Christianity split off into two different sectors was because Christians just followed the Bible and the word of Jesus, and then the Catholics, they were like the nerdy emo kids that had to be extra special and unique. They were the blue hair kids of that era. That's what they were. They were the blue hair kids. And so then they were like, no, we need to have a man that's as holy as God, which is blasphemous, by the way. So they just had some fucking old white dude just become the Pope or whatever that's supposed to mean to signify some sort of holy connection to God. This is all of Catholicism is blasphemous, by the way, and it's entirely just connected to money. Yeah, the entire religion's a sham. Sorry.
Oh, jeez. Huh.
Sorry. Oh. If you're a Catholic, you're probably either Mexican or you're just filthy rich and you just hate poor people, probably.
Nice. Okay. Well, is that all we have to say about the Pope?
Also, apparently he's a fan of Resident Evil because he has the Umbrella Corporation symbol on his
wait a second. Wait, why is that not world-breaking news? Why does he have the Umbrella Corporation logo on his tie? And if you don't know what that is, you know what Resident Evil is? It's a zombie franchise, and the Umbrella Corporation is the one who made the virus. And this guy's wearing
exactly
it
the same.
on his tie.
Yeah, look at this. And look at the tie. The yellow jack, letter Q, represents contagion, which means, guess what, Doug? Guess what we're getting?
Hidden tie.
Maybe that is your COVID 2.0. I'm excited for it. I'm excited. Oh, I love foreshadowing. This is great.
That's pretty funny.
Look at those fucking ears. Those ears can challenge Marco Rubio.
Oh my god, you're right.
Yeah.
Another man with big ass ears. Marco Rubio, I think, still has bigger ears. Because you gotta think, right. This guy's pretty old, so his ears are droopy. Marco Rubio's ears are still like that big, and he's not even old, you know? These are some fucking satanic looking photos. Maybe it's just because they're old timey, but dear God, man.
Now, back then, at his age, you couldn't smile for photos. If you wanted to smile for a photo, you had to smile for an hour took like an hour to generate it because of the way it worked. So you'd be standing in front of the camera for like an hour before it actually took the photo.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I could not be bothered with that. I can barely stand the 2-second photos that it takes these days.
Yeah, back then it was a rich people thing. That's why you never see people smiling in those old photos.
Oh, okay. Well, the kid next to him is kind of smiling.
Yeah, I guess he held it for a long enough time. What a weirdo.
Wow.
But yeah, the Pope is his death signifies the next generation of contagion that's going to be unleashed onto the populace.
I don't think it matters. Maybe there's people who care, and if you care, let us know. But dear God, I can't be bothered. I don't really understand their role and
all right, Doug.
Okay,
I'll explain the timeline. Did they give me napkins? They did not give me napkins. Okay. Doug, I'm going to explain the timeline. Ready? So, got some sauce. Listen, Doug. They released the COVID vaccine, right, to combat quote-unquote COVID. It didn't actually combat COVID. It was a vaccine for the next virus. And because they knew that people weren't going to take it, right? Those people are smart, obviously. They wanted to kill off the smart people. The smart people didn't take the virus. So the next virus they release, they're not going to be able to release a vaccine for it because it's just going to straight up kill you if you didn't take the original COVID vaccine. See what I'm getting at? So the COVID vaccine they released didn't actually combat COVID. It's going to combat the next virus they're going to release. It's going to kill people with like a 99% kill rate or some shit.
What?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, okay.
That way they can wipe out the population of all the people that didn't follow their law.
Who's they? Who's they?
Well, the Pope was one of them. He's dead now.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't really know about that. However, I do know we have so much stuff jam-packed in this episode, we could have branched off 3 different times now. So we can keep going with COVID if you'd like.
I mean, is it still legal to talk about it?
It's actually legal now to talk about it, and go to the White House COVID page. They put out a COVID page on the White House, the internet. On the interwebs, I'm talking like an old person. The White House has put out America is back. I think I think it's called I don't know, you'll probably just look at COVID White House or something, but they have their own, it has its own website. And it's all the COVID information that we all knew was true and that they kept telling us was fake.
This one?
Yeah, there it is. This is the thing. So it's been confirmed that it's from the Wuhan lab,
cool.
That it was a manufactured virus. Yeah. Now, here's why I'm bringing this up particularly. Because normally we just don't care. To be honest, guys, there's a lot of things we don't cover just because Brayden and I actually agree that most of this shit should just be common knowledge, and unfortunately we forget that it's not. People should know by now that COVID was a man-made virus from Chinese lab named Wuhan, funded by Fauci and Bill Gates, and it was literally run by bioterrorism like weapon specialists, Chinese and American. That's just like facts. Everyone should know that. We forget that everyone doesn't know that. the White House put out this page that says, yeah, by the way, all that stuff is true. They rode the shit out of Trump when he said that it was that he said that this is where it was from. He's like, it's probably from Wuhan lab, China. They called him a racist and a fearmonger. Turns out he's correct. Woohoo, big surprise. Here's why I'm particularly pissed. When this first happened, I was talking with some people, and I said, it's probably from this lab, and it was probably China did it on purpose. And this dude in particular, which, by the way, if you ever listen to this, kill yourself in game, and fuck you. But he said that I was crazy for thinking that the Chinese would actually release a virus on their own population. And guess what? Yeah, they actually did. And big surprise. I'm not surprised at all. But, guy, fuck you, guy. You're incredibly wrong. And we're going to continue. We're going to transition. Are you ready? Do you have anything to throw in on COVID?
Well, yeah, I do, actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, listen. The COVID vaccine, it may have killed some people. That's because they weren't strong enough to handle it. They were just weak.
Actually, it was a genetic difference. So, true story, the COVID vaccine has a different effect per race, and it least affected the Jews. Ashkenazi-based Jews, which, by the way, long live the king.
Those are our boys. Those are our boys right there. Ashkenazi Jews, we up in it.
It mostly affected, I think it was blacks and Spanish the most. I'm not entirely sure. Don't quote me. I just remember the Jewish part because I have Jewish blood, so that's the only reason I remember.
I don't think it killed any blacks, hardly, to be honest. Well, how do we know, actually? Isn't it only white people that post about themselves in the hospital on Facebook? Black people don't really do that shit.
You don't need to post it for them to collect the data on you.
I don't know. I just go on social media.
It's not just social media they use to collect data.
That's just my opinion. But yeah, essentially, you were weak. Being unlucky is the same as being weak. If you're unlucky,
in the eyes of Darwin, yeah.
Essentially, don't be unlucky. Stop being unlucky. Why are you so unlucky, fucking weakling?
Yeah, the virus was literally genetically designed to target people. Races of people more so than others, and same with the vaccine. But anyways, moving on from that, I was also called crazy for saying that autism probably has an environmental factor, which, okay, newsflash. Again, we didn't talk about this, even though we probably should have, considering it's, pretty big news, because, again, I think you and I just both agree that, yeah. But RFK, who is the Secretary of National Health or some shit, I don't even know. We'll talk about him twice here. And this was last month's announcement, or early this month. He announced that they had done a study that clearly showed that autism, or at least the very rapid increasing rate of autism in children and above, it's being caused by an environmental factor. It's up like 400% or 500%. They think only 30% of that. The original argument for this is that, we've just gotten better at detecting it. And they've actually included that in the study, and they found that only about 30% of the cases were caused by the better detection methods. And even then, they think that the only reason it's become easier to detect is because of the increase in the first place, right? Like, if a lot of people get sick, it becomes a lot easier to be like, okay, we know why all these people are getting sick, versus if there's isolated cases. Anyways, fuck you, other people who told me I was wrong for that. I just like telling people, fuck you and I was right. That's all. I just want to spend some time doing that today. So I'm gonna be doing that a lot this episode.
Why are you doing that? I'm gonna put a blinker. I'm gonna put a blinker, Doug.
China intentionally made and released the virus. Go fuck yourself. That's a real thing you did. And fuck you. Autism has an environmental factor and is probably the main reason it's jumped up by over 400%. Fuck you, morons. Fuck you. Anyways.
Listen, Doug, those are rookie numbers. We need to get those numbers up. 400% is nothing. We need to get that shit up to 1,000%.
Do you want to know what is? Hey, thank you. You're so good at helping me transition. Do you know what is up 1,000%?
What?
ADHD.
Awesome.
RFK came out today. This is breaking news announcement today. They came out and said they are banning food dyes in all American foods.
Doug, I like the taste of a little blue one lake here and there. A nice
There's
soiree.
no way it's no way it's giving taste, dude. There's no way it's giving taste.
Listen, a nice little taste of red 40 wine.
You like that? Yeah, RFK came out today along with the team, and they talked about banning. It was one of my watching RFK come out with announcements has been like my favorite part of this administration, because again, I've said this before, but I feel like he's been kind of able to do whatever he wants, like completely free in the background. And yeah, they came out today and said they're gonna ban food dyes. He's a real dick about it towards the companies, and I fucking love him for that. At some point, somebody was like, "What are you gonna do about the sugar?" And he just started laughing. He's just like, "Well, we're gonna put out an announcement in which we recommend, a recommended dose of sugar." And then he was like, "Which is 0." He's so funny. He's absolutely so funny when he announces this stuff. But yeah, so. If you don't know, the food dyes that we have in America are banned in Europe and Asia. This is a common problem with a lot of our food. It's actually banned in a lot of countries because it's so unhealthy. And they know very well that dyes cause ADHD. And the numbers show that it's increased ADHD and like ADD and obesity. Actually, I created a list like a good fucking... And
the only way to combat ADHD is by vaping.
Okay. Listen, you're gonna get us. I think vaping probably gets us demonetized on every platform.
Why would vaping get us demonetized? It's peach. It's peach ice.
It doesn't matter. That immediately gets us. You can't do that. That's why people on Twitch they like hide themselves when they vape. It got banned. Like,
listen, kids, you
last
vape.
Year.
Every child watching this vape. If we're gonna get demonetized, we're gonna make your kids vape as a response. All of you kids out there, if you're 13 years old and under, you better start vaping immediately.
Oh,
listen, you better bring that shit into class. Listen, you want to be cool, you want to be one of the cool kids, you better start fucking vaping immediately.
Anyways, the food dyes. The food dyes are directly linked to ADHD, ADD, obesity, diabetes. Directly linked. These are all known things. They're banned. They're gonna get phased out. I love RFK's freedom to do this stuff. I hope he keeps going. He said that his next target is the pharmaceuticals, and I can't wait for that shit.
Oh no, they're gonna kill RFK again.
The rumor has it they're already trying to blackmail him. Like, it's so crazy.
Dude, you can't blackmail him with anything. He already sounds like a dying animal. His life is already over.
They killed his uncle, killed his fucking like grandfather. Like, he's not. I mean, I think he is married now. Or maybe he's not. I don't know.
He's probably willing to sacrifice his wife at this point, Doug. I wouldn't put it past him. Maybe. I would sacrifice my wife in that position.
All I know is he's a complete menace to both the drug and food companies. He gets up there. He's very, blasé about it. He's just like, I think these companies are evil. They're lobbying our, senators. Like, he does not hold back. And it's just fucking hilarious watching him, say what he says. It's so great. I cannot wait for him to just continue doing his thing. Oh, pharmaceuticals next, and Trump's...
We gotta save the kids from Epstein's Island. Toxic chemicals on Epstein's Island. Where's Batman?
Yeah. Poor dude. Poor dude.
Yeah. He sounds like a demon.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And next their target is pharmaceuticals, and I know Trump is also planning on targeting them next, so I think they're going to go in tandem, which will be really nice.
But well, Doug, they better not get rid of my my opioids.
No, I think it's more the opioids flood the market, and that's what makes them so easily accessible. I think it's more about the over-prescribing, not for children. That mostly focuses on children. So for like depression, anxiety meds type shit. opioids are already
Oh.
like pretty much
Wait, they can't do that. How are the pharmaceuticals going to make money? They're going to lose money.
The RFK is gonna die.
What?
Yeah.
Doug, why is he committing suicide? This is such a weird hill to die on. Just let the pharmaceuticals do what they want.
He has been on this
The
path.
kids are happy.
Forever.
The kids love the taste of SRR.
He has been on this warpath like I don't even know, man. So he started in politics, and then he was like, okay, this isn't really for me, and he was an environmental lawyer, and after he'd kind of accomplished a lot of stuff in that area, he was like, I'm moving on to drugs and tech, some of the negative effects of tech companies, and ever since then he's been targeted like crazy, and the fact that he's been able to run an entire State Department is fucking hilarious, because it really shouldn't have happened, but hey, I'm here for it. I love it. I think it's great.
I mean, they say that you often end up repeating the past. His uncle died.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna, do some things that people aren't gonna like. Oh, they killed him. Oh. Don't worry, RFK. All you gotta do is just stick to the memo and I want a deal. I want to nuke the pharmaceutical companies. Oh no, RFK, you shouldn't have said that. Why did you have to say that? Oh, buddy, we're gonna miss you. We're gonna miss you. Yeah,
I mean, the thing is, it's all really hard for them to do too much, just because they have to. In order to get long-term change, you need to pass it through Congress, and Congress is completely bought out by drug and food. That's like the biggest lobbyers, right, next to defense spending or military contractors. So it's pretty much impossible legislatively to get anything done in that area, but hey, fingers crossed.
I mean, you could always just create your own lobby.
Yeah, he's not rich enough for that.
No. Here's what you do. You make your own lobby. Actually, no, I'm retarded. Never mind. Anyways, Doug, listen. All they need to do is to just give the pharmaceutical companies more money, and then RFK gets to continue to live.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Or he'll just die on this hill, which, hey.
Or in a motorcade.
Nah, I think they'll just kill him and be like, oh yeah, he used
bullets to the back of the head.
He used steroids or something. They'll just hit him with like some stupid shit like that. Or hit him with a classic car accident.
This is a funny thing, but all coroners are bought out.
Yeah, I mean, they don't make any money. And nobody's double checking them. So
no. Yeah. Coroners are bought out, which is great because I want to be a coroner because they make so much good money.
Which is great because I want to be a coroner.
Yeah, like if you're a coroner and you're looking on the news and you hear that someone, they call you, ring, hello, yeah, RFK just died, honey, we're going to fucking Hawaii. Get your bags ready.
Yeah. We'll move on from less morbid news. Hopefully he does die and he keeps on this track of making America healthy. I think what he's doing is probably something we all agree needs to happen. I can't imagine anyone is sitting there besides Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders and is like, yeah, we shouldn't be doing this. What are we looking at here?
Pam Bondi sets to review of 25 years of mortgage fraud by Letitia James. This case stems from 25 years ago. Someone had to do some digging to find this. So apparently, Letitia James committed mortgage fraud.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Okay, I could care less about Letitia James, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Mr. Dogeman. Let's see what he has to say.
I suppose that I worry about, but and some of these things will seem esoteric to people.
He's just talking. We don't need to fucking watch the 2-minute video. I'll tell you what he's talking about. He's talking about the declining birth rates, and we'll get into that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, speaking of declining birth rates.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a picture of me crying with a tiny little cake. Please pity me.
So we also have. We'll talk about the trade war. Just to sum up kind of what's been going on. So it's been like what, a week now? When did it kick in?
Yeah.
It's been like a week. and
Yeah.
they say we have 80 countries lined up. There's actually a pause on all countries except well, Canada, yes, but also China. And China's been really feeling the heat. There's been this kind of battle for neutral regions. So Xi Jinping, who's president of China, went and visited Vietnam and Cambodia and Malaysia to, like, you know, tell them, hey, you shouldn't trade with the U.S. Mostly because Vietnam came out and immediately dropped tariffs against the U.S.
Yeah, let's see what Vietnam's up to. The Vietnamese lady boys, what's going on?
Huh?
Let's see. I can't read any of this. The fuck is this? Is this what it's like for the people in Vietnam?
I don't know what that is.
It's like a pile up.
How do you even solve that gridlock?
Yeah, that's a great question. How do you solve the gridlock? You can see
Either
the person
way,
who's causing it all.
the two, so the U.S. has kind of put the countries it can on pause, like Europe. Europe's been kind of shuffled to the backboard.
Yeah.
There was actually a visit by the Prime Minister of Rome, Meloni, and I actually watched all of that conversation. It was pretty cool. She's a
Look at that schnozer.
yeah. They just swore this guy in. This is the new SEC.
Look at that. Land a plane on that thing. You can roll ball down it. Look at that schnozer.
The two countries that U.S. has opened for deals first is India and Japan. Both were super important. Those are the first two in which we have announced trade deals with. But they said that we have at least 80. China's pretty pissed. They banned the buying of Boeing planes, and
I mean, you probably don't want those fucking things anyway, to be honest with you.
I know, for sure. Among a bunch of other things, the U.S. has kind of been closing up all these loopholes that China uses to deliver cheap products. One of them being using our mail system, which I thought was interesting. But apparently it's super cheap to just ship a single item in a small package in the mail. And the U.S. has now charging any of those coming in from overseas there's an immediate minimum of $100 on top of it. Just boom, immediately. So for all of you who like Shein and Temu and Alibaba and whatever Chinese products, which, to be honest, I went and bought some shit off those sites. Yeah. You can't. I haven't checked, but I assume you just can't do that shit anymore. I think that it got locked down overnight.
I mean, I can go to eBay.
Oh, eBay's different. It's a resale.
Is it?
Yeah, it's resale.
Well, no, because for this example, I was looking at buying one of these. It says
it's eBay's
located in Guangzhou, China.
That's where it might be made, but I sincerely doubt that it's shipped from there.
In. Estimated time between May 13th and May 30th.
And how much is it?
It's $25.
Huh. And is that more expensive or less expensive than what it was?
About the same.
Huh. Well, fair enough. Maybe
I don't know, maybe eBay's got something good going on for it. I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea. I know there's still loopholes in the system where they've been able to one of them that is currently known is they take a sticker that says made in Malaysia and they put it, right there in China on top of the product. And apparently that's getting patched. The US is just patching all these things. So I don't know, maybe the tariffs aren't completely in or something. I don't know how this works, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, maybe eBay's got some sort of deal set up. Because I can order a new battery for my Walkman here. Boop. Did I show you this yet?
You did, yes. But that's not a new product. That's an old product that's resold.
Correct. Well, this one is. But these batteries are new because they're USB-C rechargeables.
That's fair.
I'm still waiting on my other mini discs to arrive.
Well, good luck.
Yeah. I mean, maybe just for the future, Doug.
Mini discs are the future? I don't know
Right.
about that, Chief.
Why not?
Because there are 1,000 other cheaper and more efficient ways to store data.
Doug, if you're tossed into the forest and you have no data, how are you going to play your music?
How are you going to play yours?
The mini disc.
Yeah, but how long's the battery life on that?
Well, about 40 hours. So while you're sitting there, you know, your AirPods are dead, you can't play anything on your phone. I'll be sitting here with my mini disc. I'll be like, ooh, look at that. Pop this bad boy in.
Good for you. Good for you.
No, and guess what? I'll be chilling. I'm telling you, Doug, physical media is the future. People are going back to physical media again.
Okay.
It's the truth.
Okay. I just said okay.
I don't feel like you believe me. I don't feel like you believe me, Doug. I really need you to feel like you believe me because I spent over $200 on this stuff. Okay?
I will not validate you, okay? I won't necessarily fight you on your ideology, but I won't validate it either. I will let you firmly believe whatever it is you want to believe, as long as you aren't popping into my window at 12 a.m. demanding I buy more Sony Walkmans or whatever.
Mini disc.
Mini discs. My
Mini disc
apologies.
player. It is a Walkman, though. What do you think about cassettes, Doug?
I think they degrade over time. Quickly.
What do you think about mini discs?
I mean, they don't degrade, so that's good
This
news.
is true.
Still think they're a poor storage device.
Oh, not.
Yeah, you might as well just use an iPod or something.
All right. If you want to play a song, right? Typically, you just go on your phone, use Spotify or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's say Spotify doesn't work, or rather, let's say you want to not have to pay money each month to play music, right? And not have to listen to ads, right? You have two options. You can download the music to your phone and play it through there using a YouTube to MP3 converter, or you can burn that music onto a disc and play it.
Yes.
And because Apple is a bitch, they don't like you downloading music to your phone offline so that you can play it and listen to it. So they make the process entirely convoluted so that majority of people don't even understand how to use the application.
That's interesting. Spotify allows you to download the music to your devices.
As long as you pay the subscription.
Well, yeah, but anyone who uses Spotify
Well, yeah, there you go. They've
the
taken your money. You have gotten fucked. You've just gotten fucked in the ass. You paid the $10 or the $15. I don't know what it is anymore. And they fucked you in the ass.
Spotify is where we host our streams.
We love Spotify over here. Spotify is one of the best. Listen, if you want to listen to your music, you listen to Spotify and nothing else.
Spotify before Rumble is the only place we could post our content without getting demonetized and censored. We love Spotify.
Listen, if you're going to pay for any subscription, you better pay for a Spotify subscription. We love Spotify over here, and that's the best thing you should use. And if you use any...
At this moment, Spotify is the only media company that, I'm not going to say I trust them, but I will say is probably one of the least limiting, and next to Rumble or Stake, but Stake is pretty much yeah. I mean, but thankfully, and I keep forgetting where Spotify's from. It was a Swedish company who moved to America, and God bless them.
Oh, that's why I don't like them.
You don't like the Swedes.
The Swedes, yeah, the Swedes. You know what they used to do? You know what the Swedes used to do back in the early 2000s, late 90s?
What did they do?
They used to go out partying and drinking, and they would just
sinners.
I'm not done. Listen, all the trust fund kids would take mommy and daddy's money, go out partying and drinking, right? And guess what they would do with the bottles? Because they would buy literal bottles from the bar and just straight up drink out of them. You know what they would do? They would take a bottle that they hadn't finished yet, and they would throw it on the fucking ground outside in the street, leaving glass everywhere, and just walking away.
Are you talking about the Swedes within our country?
No, in Sweden.
Where is this? Okay, just keep going.
Anyways, I forget what the exact name for it was called, but essentially all the bars got, there was regulations got put on that because they got tired of all the fucking trust fund kids tossing the bottles against, buildings on the ground, just to flaunt their affluence and their wealth essentially. And so what they ended up doing instead is that you could, because the bars didn't want to lose the money because they still made money on the bottles that they tossed against the buildings, right? So they were like, okay, listen, you can buy a bottle, but instead of throwing it against the building, we'll pour it down the drain. So they would literally sit there and watch the bartender pour the thing down the drain as a way to celebrate. You want to know why I don't like the Swedes? Let's move on to another subject. IKEA. Yeah, how does that work out for you? Sometimes you're missing the parts, and the store just looks dead as hell. Like it's completely lifeless. It lacks any soul. And it's like you think it was made by a German, but no, it's a Swede. It's crazy. There's so many things I could go on about Sweden. So many things I could go on about Sweden.
Okay. Which country did we say was the new rape capital of Europe? Was it Sweden or Switzerland? I keep forgetting. I think it was Sweden, right?
Yeah, you already know the answer. It was Sweden.
Yeah. Listen,
Good
I still
job,
like
Sweden.
Spotify from Sweden. Okay, I fucking love it. I will I bow to our overlords. I bow.
Yeah. They aren't taking my money.
Well, they're taking mine. They've been taking mine forever. I remember when the first like music streaming craze really took off, and it started with Pandora, right? That was what was one of them.
Yeah.
And there was just like a big battle for music listeners, and I jumped on Spotify pretty early on, and I've kind of stood by them since the start. I think they're really good, and I like what they're turning into because now they're branching into podcasts and video content and kind of becoming a social media site.
I've canceled all my subscriptions, Doug. I know I have
Good
no
for
more
you.
subscriptions.
Good for
I have
you.
none. I got rid of all of them. I no longer will I continue to get fucked in the ass. I'm done getting fucked in the ass.
That's
No
good.
longer
Good for you.
will I. Yes, I know. Good for me indeed. Fucking sweet. Fuck sweet.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Also, Doug, on the topic of 4chan, by the way, I want to go back to 4chan.
Oh yeah. What, is it back up? Still down.
Nope.
Damn. We are we're a week out. Still down.
Yeah.
What do they
Still
say?
fucking down. Let's go to X and see what 4chan had to say. Let's see what these fuckers had to say about their entire fucking site being down.
A week is kind of crazy.
This is what they posted.
Still, this is it. Only that.
It takes time with an AI cat sitting in front of a computer with a cup of coffee.
Huh.
I can't take it anymore, Doug. I'm losing my mind.
It's been a week.
You want to know where?
How's your Reddit experience going?
You want to see how my Reddit experience is going? You want to see my karma?
My karma? The fuck?
Fuck is my profile? -1, -3, -8. Where's on? 6, 2, 1, 3, 3, 5.
Wow.
-11.
People really don't like you. What are you saying?
Okay, listen. Okay, so they were like, which this guy was like, what cards do you want unbanned?
Hey, explain what karma is to people.
Karma is this gay little rating system. You can downvote comments if you don't like them, and you can upvote them if you agree with them. So it creates this echo chamber of people that constantly upvote to keep the echo chamber alive and downvote anything that goes against the echo chamber. So that's why Reddit sucks ass. And also, if they downvote your comment, it gets hidden and pushed to the bottom. So This guy was like, what cards do you want unbanned, no matter the consequence? I am a funny person, so I typed in, I want Evoke Prejudice. And for reference, this is a card game. And if you don't know what Invoked Prejudice is, this is Invoked Prejudice.
You want to read it for the crowd? Okay.
If an opponent casts a summon spell that does not match the color of one of the creatures under your control, that spell is countered unless the caster pays an additional X, where X is the casting cost of the summon spell.
Okay, for those who aren't watching the stream, it's to do with a fucking... It's basically a KKK metaphor. They're wearing, like, the hood, and he's wielding an axe. And the fucking description says if opponent casts a summon spell that does not match the color of one of the creatures. So it's a fucking racist card.
Yeah,
Oh my.
so they put that in, and then everyone downvoted the shit out of me.
Why? That's kind of funny. What the hell?
And the guy responded with like, "No, racism should never be funny, and if you think it should, then you need to find new friends and change yourself."
What?
And he got five. And he got 5 upshoots. No sense of humor at all on Reddit. It is a dead,
so
no
funny.
humor allowed zone.
That's actually the funniest thing.
Yeah. And then the other comment was over here. Essentially, what was it? The coast unbanned some cards, and for context, blue and black are the strongest colors, and competitive commander.
He's talking about Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Which most people, it's a card game.
Free-for-all format.
And the way the game operates is the colors represent like I don't know, how would you describe them? Like a style of gameplay.
There's 5 colors. I don't know why they haven't added a 6th one. Other than that, they just don't like the number 6. But yeah, there's 5 colors, and each of them does their own thing. Essentially, blue and black are the strongest colors. The top 9 out of the 10 top competitive commander decks all have blue or black in them, or both. And so they did a bunch of unbans, and guess which colors of cards that they unbanned? Blue and black. Good job, Wizards of the Coast. What an excellent shining example of being completely tone deaf and blind. They don't even know what their own game is like.
Why did you get downvoted for this one? Let me read it. Let me read it. I think it'd be funnier if I read it. Blue and black are already the strongest colors. The majority of the game changes are in the colors blue or black. Why give them more stuff? What would have been wrong with an Iona, Lona, or limited resource a sun ban? Most people run blue farm, so it's not like Iona can't be interacted with. And limited resources is very fringe due to the high amount of mana rocks anyway. Very unintelligent decision for the most part on Wizards of the Coast, who is the maker. Only unban I agree with is Coalition Victory, and then immediately -8 votes.
Yeah, -8. Duke Dotes.
Oh my god.
Then some guy tried to say it's a casual format, and I was like, it's not a casual format. Blue Farm gets its dick sucked again. The people who claim to play casually but get butthurt when they lose are still going to get butthurt. None of the elephants in the room get dealt with, and the Earth continues to rotate on its axis. Multi-billion-dollar company and people that keep lying to themselves about which community the unbans actually impact. 2025 ZZZZZ.
Wow. That's kind of funny. That's
these are the people on fucking Reddit.
And would you say you were more popular on 4chan than you are on Reddit?
On 4chan, there's no such thing as popularity. There's no such thing unless you were like an e-girl that was like posting your tits on the fucking R9K board. Other than that, you weren't really popular on 4chan. You were just anonymous. You could chill. You could post whatever. People would call you a racial slur or tell you to kill yourself. And guess what? Everyone had a great time anyway. But on Reddit, it's like, no, you get downvoted and reported. And we're going to have to get the moderators on it. We're going to have to get the Reddit mods out. They scratch their balls and scratch their beard. Yeah. It's like, dude, it's so stupid. It's such a dumb site.
Nice.
So I've been on 8chan.moe.
I don't want to know, to be honest with you.
You don't want to know?
Not really. No.
Let's go to business and finance. This is the refugee zone for 4chaners. The images don't load as fast. The speed is slower. At least I have my technology board back, so I can go into my IEM general chat. Where's my technology sector?
A lot of stuff has happened with AI. There's been a lot of AI announcements, and we don't have enough time to fit in today's episode, but I do know there's more stuff that comes out throughout this week, and we'll talk about that stuff next week. A lot of really cool shit, especially in the medical field.
Yeah, what else has been happening, Doug, in the news?
So we've got a little update on the Ukraine-Russia thing. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but Basically, dude, Russia's kind of funny right now. They keep saying that they want to sign a ceasefire, and then like the very next day, they just start bombing the shit out of Ukraine. And I don't know if it's just, like a joke on purpose or if they're just fucking with both sides. Like I don't know what's going on there, but they actively come out and they'll say to the press, "We're ready for a ceasefire. We're ready for negotiations." And then like within a few hours, they actually just start massively bombing Ukraine. However, the U.S. has kind of just come out and been like, specifically Marco Rubio he's come out and he's been like, okay, like this shit isn't working. Both sides don't seem to want a ceasefire at all, and probably what's going to happen is we're going to try one last time here, and if it doesn't work, the U.S. is just going to take a step back from this bullshit. Which, hey, fair enough, man. And that's kind of the update. The update is nothing's really happening in that area, and the U.S. is just kind of not going to spend too many more resources on a waste of time like this. Most likely, we'll probably play the same role we played in World War II at the start, where we just sold weapons to our allies instead of getting so directly involved. That'll probably be what happens, if I'm kind of, seeing where things go, at least with Europe. I think Europe will have to pick up the bill. They are all starting to spend more. Germany has literally come out and said they're going to turn all their car factories into weapon factories. So, that can't possibly go wrong. But
wait a minute. Where have I seen this before?
Yeah.
Turning your car. Oh, a little thought bubble with Volkswagen appearing above my head.
Yeah. Volkswagen in particular was the big one that came out and said it.
Yeah.
They volunteered. They volunteered as tribute.
Yep. Oh my. Volkswagen coming out. This is a repeat of 1935. What the fuck is happening?
Actually, it is pretty close. It is extremely close.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the U.S. will probably, specifically with Europe, will return back to its role of just being a weapon seller. Which, we got rich off that shit, and we helped our allies at the same time. So I think it's fair. It's a win-win for us.
But how much of that money went to Israel?
It's funny you keep saying that.
Not enough.
Because not that much money goes to Israel compared to how much money we gave the Taliban last year. Believe it or not. We gave more money to the Taliban last year than Israel.
Doug, we can't create excuses to give Israel money if we don't give the Taliban money too.
I see. That makes sense. That's true. We don't want to be unfair. And you know what? Speaking of Israel, we'll jump to the Middle East. Israel is planning on bombing Iran. They feel extremely emboldened with Trump in office to bomb Iran.
You don't need to be Jewish to support Israel.
Specifically, thank you for that, yes. Specifically, the nuclear facility. So, I don't really want to go into a super long history when it comes to Iran, the U.S., and Israel. Just quite simply, all you need to know is that Iran doesn't think Israel should exist, and Iran wants to kill every American on the planet. That's literally on their flag in written words, by the way. Fundamentally, in their constitution, or whatever they have that's similar, is destroy Israel and kill all of Americans. That's what's written there. That's all they care about. Fundamentally, that's all they give a flying fuck about. That's their two main goals in life, is destroying Israel and blowing up America. So, they have been working on a nuclear weapon. That's considered a no-no by the U.S. and Israel for blatant reasons. Whether or not
Doug, don't you... They're just copying season 1. This is 9/11 all over again. There is no weapons of mass destruction. How many times do I have to tell you, Doug?
Oh, there's one. There is. Iran has come out and said that they're working on it.
We have the nuclear weapons.
They're not shy.
We have the nuclear weapons. Please give me more money, America, and I will send more of my terrorist citizens to their death. And that way, Israel has an excuse to receive more money from you as well. It's all a racket, Doug. He's in on it.
The Iranian supreme leader is in on it?
Yeah, he's getting big buco bucks. He is.
Okay. And so what would be the goal of bombing Iran's fake nuclear facilities? What would be the goal there?
What do you mean?
Well, you're saying that the supreme... This is his actual title, by the way. I'm not making this up. The supreme leader, the supreme Ayatollah of Iran, Okay, the one who keeps coming out and he specifically leads the religious sect of Iran. Iran's a very Islamic country. They hate women, all the classic stuff. He's the religious leader. He's the leader. The main guy. It's him.
Yeah. Okay.
He says they have a nuclear weapon, or they're working on a
cool.
nuclear weapon. Okay.
Yep.
So why would he do that? You're saying you're saying he's in on it. Okay.
He's
fine.
creating a false flag for Israel to be able to attack and America to be able to attack, which buffs up the military-industrial complex, allows us to take more taxes from the citizens, and allows us to give us an excuse to send more money over to Iran to pay for that, and to send more money to Israel. And then it keeps this chain going where we sacrifice more American taxpayers' dollars, and then we just keep buffing up the military-industrial complex.
Okay. Fine. Whatever. That can be your
Everyone
take.
wins.
Well, either way,
except the American taxpayer.
Either way, Israel has been very aggressive about trying to bomb Iran's nuclear facilities.
It's part of the game.
The U.S. has come out and said that they prefer talking first. Specifically, Tulsi Gabbard. It's rumored that Tulsi Gabbard specifically told Trump to not let them do the bombings, and instead to try talking first.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Okay. Tulsi Gabbard, the queen. The queen. I bow to the queen.
I like Tulsi Gabbard. It's a shame she doesn't like fucking Israel, baby. You're not on the top tier list, baby. You're down at the bottom. You're in the dirt. Sorry, you're not part of the A team. Hate to break it to you. She's saying not to bomb something? That's too damn bad, Tulsi. I'm afraid you're not with the in crowd. You're not part of the cool kids. You're not one of the popular crowd.
Well, Trump listened, and they're hosting talks. However,
his
they
dick
don't
is in his
seem
head.
to be.
He's a fool.
They don't seem to be going well, to be honest with you. And I suspect, actually, this was just announced right before we started. That Trump sent in a letter to the House and to Senate leaders, and the letter said, "I have directed the Pentagon to move additional combat-ready troops to the Middle East." So they are very much getting ready to start fucking bombing the shit out of Iran. 100%. We will probably going to war with Iran.
It's all a racket, Doug.
Very soon.
It's all a racket. War, quote unquote, war with Iran, racket. It's a racket, Doug. It's all to siphon money from the American taxpayer.
Sure. I mean, you could be right. However, we also are on the war path with China, so
Well, okay, that's it, Doug. I'm pulling up the prison program again. I feel like we need to keep pulling this up.
The prison program?
Prison program. Code name for a program in which the United States National Security Agency, NSA, collects internet communications with various U.S. internet companies. The program is also known as SIGAD. PRISM stores collect stored internet communications based on demands made to internet companies such as Google and Apple under Section 702 of the FISA Amendments Act of 2008. Turn over any data that match court-approved search terms. Among other things, NSA can use these PRISM requests to target communications that were encrypted when they traveled across the internet backbone, to focus on stored data that telecommunication filtering systems discarded earlier, and to get that data is easier to handle. Protect America Act under the Bush administration. The program is operated under the supervision of the United States Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, FISA Court, pursuant to the FISA Act. Its existence was leaked 6 years ago by NSA contractor Edward Snowden, meaning we weren't even supposed to find out about any of this. Yeah. I guess what the prison program started as a result of Congress passing. Right after 9/11, baby. It's all a game. It's all a racket, and the American taxpayer continues to get fucked in the ass, which is awesome news for Israel. We love it.
God
Honestly,
bless.
Doug, to be honest, the American taxpayer deserves it. The American taxpayer deserves to get fucked in the ass. They do.
Okay, very nice. You done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Okay. That covers Europe and Middle East and
Oh, Doug,
Asia.
wait! I gotta follow.
Oh,
Someone
shit!
followed me after I posted my thing.
What did you post? Show what you posted.
Doug, okay, Doug, you listen.
Show what you
Doug,
posted.
do not judge me. Do not judge me.
Let's see it. So, if you can, I don't even know how to describe this image. It's a fucking really buff, handsome man with the Giga Chad, and he is very pro-Israel here with the Israeli flag behind him. and Braden just picked up a follow, posting it 6
Yeah,
minutes ago. Very nice.
You got 2 impressions, though. You got 2 impressions. Look at this.
You're really coming out on top here.
Oh yeah, all I did was click GIF and just typed in Israel and just clicked the first thing that popped up.
That's kind of funny.
She liked my reply.
Dude, she's into you. This is the most fucking, like, this is the most fed account I've ever seen, by the way.
Fed account? Doug, this person is not a federal agent.
Yes, it is. This person is definitely a federal agent.
This is not a federal agent.
It's not an American federal agent. I'll tell you that much.
Listen, they might work for the IDF.
Yeah. What do you federal agent? Just because it's a different federal government.
It's a Liberty Affair reporter.
Dude, this is the most Israel IDF. Dude, document Jew hate.
Wait. She's in Boca Raton.
Dude. Nah, it's a Fed, dude. That's a Fed.
It's not a Fed.
That's a Fed.
She's the same age as me. Look, let's go. Buy me a coffee.
Bro, she's a Fed. She's a Fed. This is the most obvious Fed account. You're getting sucked into the trap. The only reason you're into it is because she's a woman.
Listen, Doug.
You're getting sucked in. This is how they. This is how they get you.
Oh, we can make it monthly. I'm
not making anything monthly. You can.
Listen, we support the Israeli cause. Doug.
This is a bot account. 6 minutes after you posted this, an immediate follow. Come on, it's a journalist. It's a bot account, dude.
It's not a bot account.
Yes, it is. It's a bot account, dude. What the?
Wait, what?
It's literally not even. It's talking in the third person.
Listen, Doug.
Dude, Dude, I like.
Tell me this isn't a real person.
For your own health and safety, just saying, don't interact with this person.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Love my partner in crime. Tell me that. Oh my God, it's AI generated. It is a bot account. Oh my God, the shading. You're right, Doug. It is a bot account. You can tell by the shading it's AI generated. Oh my God.
If it's not AI generated, it is a fake image. You can see the overlay. Maybe. Yeah. This is not. This. It looks like a fake image. Yeah. Wait, let me check fingers. Fingers is always a good one. This chick kind of is just fucking weird, creepy ass fingers. Hard to tell. And pinkies look crazy though.
It definitely looks like AI, Doug.
It very much could be. Very much could be. Trying to see some inconsistencies. Those are always be the big tells. All I know is this looks like a fucking super sus account, man.
It could be real. This looks like a real comment.
Okay,
it could be real.
I don't know. Whatever, dude.
Oh, they have the check mark. Probably real.
Dude, all I'm saying is, what was it, like twice the amount of posts the U.S. had on 4chan, Israel had, and I wouldn't be surprised if X was the same way.
We have to really be getting into it. Okay, she will be avenged.
Yeah, wait, this is a good idea. Catfisher. You're the most fucking Israel person I've ever met.
What, Doug? I love Israel. No one loves Israel more than me.
You're a borderline Hitler.
What? She will be avenged. Okay, what's the broken heart emoji?
I don't know. She will be avenged. Down with Hamas. Come on, you get in there, dude.
Wait. Am I supposed to be posting a broken heart or a blue heart? I think I'll post a blue heart instead. I think we have to be really strategic about how we do our emojis here.
I'm not. I have really bad emoji game, so.
There we go. She will be avenged.
There we go. Nice. All right. We'll move on. I'm sure we'll get a response here really quickly. We also have Trump's. So we'll move. We'll stay in Europe here real quick. We'll just get all the international news out. Dude, the weirdest thing happened in France. God bless France and their fucking weird ass people.
No, God.
Do you know what I'm about to say?
I don't. But I feel like I do.
Okay, ready? Okay, I want you to guess this without looking it up. So, there was a terrorist attack all across France. No,
Thank
don't look it
God.
up. Don't look it up. Don't look it up.
Okay, fine.
Okay, don't look it up. I want you to try and guess who is the cause of these terrorist attacks. Ready? Now, I'm going to give you details. Terrorist attack in France. Who do you think was the suspect? And then I will give you a hint if you get it wrong. Go. Or an additional detail.
So, what kind of terrorist attack was it?
Bombings.
Bombings?
Mhm.
Okay.
Bombings, yeah. And classic,
was it
drive
done-
a car through buildings.
Driving car through buildings, bombings.
Yep. Gunfire too. Talking about full on siege.
Siege, like Black Hawk Down level kind of siege? Is that what we're talking about?
No. Non-military.
Non-military.
Yeah.
Okay. White. It was a Frenchman. It had to have been.
Okay, yeah, it was in fact a Frenchman. It was more than one Frenchman. So
I know exactly who it was too.
So there is a political activist group. I don't know what their real name is, but their acronym is DDPF.
I found the terrorist. It's Bon Voyage.
They're a human rights activist group, and they were trying to break people out of prison.
Oh my God.
There's a French activist rights group, and they were trying to break prisoners out of prison because apparently this activist group thought the prisoners were being very mistreated. You're gonna have to. This is at the start of the week, so you're probably gonna have to type in, terrorist attack or something.
Oh my
Jails.
God.
What the?
Today's terrorist attack has been identified.
Oh
as
no,
terrorist
that's just normal everyday terrorist attack stuff.
Oh, okay, that's boring terrorism.
Yeah, that happens every day. If you didn't know, every single day in Europe there's a terrorist attack where someone's getting stabbed. That's just super common right now.
Oh, look how much fun France looks. I love this place now. Look at this.
French is just utter chaos 24/7.
Woohoo!
Oh, I thought he was gonna hit him directly in the head. Wow, these
fan.
fucking Frenchmen are crazy.
France.
Okay, hold on. Okay, look, I'm not normally into the race baiting stuff, but if you had to pause here and you were like, yeah, which country is this? Would you assume it's France?
Yes, I would. Because they're more civilized than the French.
Fair enough.
Yeah, at least they have the confidence to throw things. They'll just take your kids. That's what they do in France. Fucking Frenchmen. The only good Frenchman was Napoleon. Everyone else has been dog shit.
God bless Napoleon.
God bless Napoleon.
He wasn't even French. He was Armenian or something.
Yeah. It's kind of sad, isn't it?
I
Kind of
think he's
sad,
originally French.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, this is the normal,
And they deserve
Islamic
every bit of it. They deserve every bit. I hope they destroy the country.
We stopped reporting. You and I stopped reporting on the Islamic terrorist stuff, but that still happens literally every day. Every single day. Every single day, someone is getting stabbed. Some little child is getting fucking raped. There's specifically in Germany, there are cars that keep driving through crowds of people. That just happens like every day there now. That's just common.
Yeah, but they voted for it.
Yeah, I know. That was my line too. It's like, okay, well, you voted for it. That's why I don't give a fuck about California. Same thing. California's got the same. I'm just like, you guys vote for it every year, every 4 years.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would I care?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I hear them bitch all the time about it too. It's like, I don't care. You voted for it.
Voted for it.
Yeah.
I
I
guess
feel
what
the same
you
way.
didn't vote for it, and you're choosing to live there.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
Well, like, I just what?
So, like, you just leave. Just fucking leave.
It's got to be cheaper anyway, dude. It's got to be cheaper to move out of California to any other state. Probably, maybe not like New York. I don't even know. It has to be one of the easiest decisions you can make.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, what's this? French police arrested an Egyptian migrant and ISIS operative. Started planning a jihadist attack against some Notre Dame.
Listen, every single day, this is happening. Every single day. Every single day, they're stopping. I mean, I wasn't even gonna bring this up because, again, it's just We've covered
Yep.
this so much, but every single day is an increase in terrorist attacks in Europe, all across Europe, except Poland, because Poland doesn't allow illegals.
This is true. This is true.
0 terrorist attacks in Poland, by the way. Fucking hundreds every year in France and Germany, every single year.
And guess what the start of World War III is going to be? Poland gets invaded again.
Poor Poland, poor Poles, bro. They're just doing their fucking, just living their
They
best
deserve
lives
it.
out there.
No, they deserve it.
Why do they deserve it? Go ahead. Please, pray tell. Why do the Poles deserve to get invaded for the fucking billionth time?
Because they're playing the defensive game plan, right? Defend.
Oh,
Listen.
you think they should attack Russia?
Yeah, they
Hit
should.
'em
No.
with-
Hold
Hit 'em
on,
with
hold
the
on, hold
winter
on, hold on,
reverse
hold on.
card?
Don't attack Russia. Attack the other countries. Attack France. Everyone would love you if you attacked France.
Poland isn't directly attached to France. It's attached to Germany. They'd have to march through Germany and like
just go through
Switzerland
Germany.
and the Netherlands to get to France.
Listen, all they have to do is identify as Jewish, and the Germans won't attack them anymore.
It's true.
They have too
That's
much-
not wrong.
They have too much German guilt.
That's true. That's
easy.
that is actually true.
Yeah.
I like the polls. I think what you guys are doing great, by the way. Every single announcement, even listen, even through the tariff announcements, both the Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk, which is fucking hilarious, by the way, that's his name, and Giorgia Meloni from Italy, the Prime Minister, both of those leaders have come out and been like, "Hey, what the U.S. is doing makes complete sense. We should just go and talk with them and work out a better trade deal." Both, like, Poles, Italians, hey, kudos to you guys for being harsher on immigration and not falling for the fucking just blatant stupidity. You guys are great. And hopefully some of the other countries, when it comes time to vote, will follow suit. But it's tough.
Yeah.
Especially considering France literally just jailed their opposition, their right-wing opposition, which is just fucking... I mean, that's gotta be insane. Like, what the fuck? There were actually... I don't know if it's been hushed up, but there were planned protests. I know some of them were happening. I don't know how big it was. But it must be not that big if it's not hitting front page news. That or they're just intentionally covering it up.
Yeah. I don't know, Doug. I'm gonna enjoy watching Poland getting turned into a race of mutts, like France.
Race of mutts?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, for example, the best way to destroy a country is from the inside out. And it's easier to target the women because the women aren't as intelligent and they're easier to manipulation. Or susceptible, I should say.
What the fuck
So?
are you on?
Listen, it's all about programming, Doug. It's all about programming. If you can create the programming, design the programming, and then flesh it out to the public, and then just psyop them into believing things that aren't true, you can get them to do whatever you want, including procreate with people that are of lower IQ, thus creating a less intelligent race and easier to manipulate.
Eastern Europe is known to be the most racist of the Europeans, especially against what you're talking about.
And they too will
including
fall.
the Poles.
Just like France.
Okay, shut up. Stop talking.
Just like France. Just
No.
like France. Yeah.
No. The Polish are nothing like France, by the way.
Not yet.
Absolutely nothing
Not
like
yet.
the French.
They will bend the knee.
No,
they
they
will
won't.
bend the knee.
They won't. That's not even close.
Yes, they
All
will.
of the countries closest to Russia are very much against immigration and a lot more against woke.
They will bend the knee. Believe me this.
No. Absolutely
will.
not. Oh, you know what? Who else just had a terrorist attack? This happened today. India, Kashmir. Look that up. There's a bunch of look up. I know you love gore and violence. There's a bunch of videos up on it. There's been a lot of attacks this week, actually.
Say it again.
Kashmir, in India. So I'm trying to think specifically, or remember specifically what happened. There was a lone gunman, I think, maybe a few.
No offense, but these people are calling me a man. I don't get it.
I don't know what's going on here either.
Doug, I'm receiving.
It's you spelt it entirely wrong, by the way. I think it's KASHMIR. No E at the end.
Apparently it's close enough. India is Kashmir. Open your eyes and see these pictures. You have failed. Yeah, I'm sorry. India is just such like a bad place. Very poor, very bad place to live. I would not want to live in India.
Yeah, well, I'm looking for news on the terrorist attack itself, not your fucking ramblings.
I think this is related. Every man is wearing a dress. It's like Thailand.
It's hot. They do that because it's hot as fuck.
I think they like it.
I mean, yeah, that's it's hot.
They probably go home and get pegged.
So I think I can't remember specifically what happened. It was I think it was a like Islamic ISIS member or something along those lines who just took out a gun and started shooting people. I think it was some shit like that. It's so hard to keep up with all the terrorist attacks, man. So hard to keep up with it. It's actually so wild how much effort the U.S. put into ending terrorism, and now we're just like, all the work has been done in 5 years, basically, because we decided to bring in hundreds of millions of illegals. It's so absurd. Now every country just has a terrorist attack every day. Every single day. You cannot go without hearing about some terrorist attack in every country. So wild.
That's pretty nutty, I ain't gonna lie to you, Doug.
Oh, yeah. Every single day someone's getting stabbed, someone's getting shot, and it doesn't matter. It's kind of funny that America, who has the most guns, probably has a lesser amount of terrorist attacks than, say, the UK, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean...
Or France.
Fucking France, dude. I don't know. Like, France just needs to just stop trying. Like you failed. You no longer a country anymore.
I just love how they're supposed to be this like they constantly flame us all the time and like take the moral high ground, and then their prime minister or president Macron has the balls to imprison his political opponent, and it's just like what political leg do you guys have to stand on anymore? Yeah. I've talked about this twice today with two different people about how once again America has to be the bastion of like free speech and anti-tyranny, and it's crazy how close to home it is this time. It almost happened here. It's happening in France. It happens in the UK. Like, it is insane how fucking close to home it is. The UK, like, only just recently, it's so funny, by the way, the Supreme Court of the UK recently came out and said a woman is, someone with XY or XX chromosomes. A man is someone with XX chromosomes. Big crazy fucking surprise there. And then their prime minister had to come out, Steimer had to come out and say, he was finally feeling comfortable enough to say that a woman is someone with XY chromosomes. And it's blanking on me. Her name, I don't know why. The person who wrote the Harry Potter books.
J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling, yeah, she's just like, she's gotta be one of my favorite people right now. But she's just out there like shitting on them all for it the whole time. She's like, really? Big surprise. Turns out I was right the whole time. Like, what the fuck? But I don't know. Again,
I'm not a fan of J.K. Rowling. I think...
Really? Why not?
She's on Twitter all the fucking time. I don't like Doug. Like, what do you do with your life?
Bro, like, she doesn't care. She made so much money.
Yeah, you waste your time all the time on fucking Twitter. Like, dude, it gets annoying after a while. Like, do something.
I just think it's funny. Well, okay, I'll say this. So she was doing a lot of stuff, right? She was, she's a very hands-on. If you don't know who J.K. Rowling is, she wrote the Harry Potter books. If you don't know what Harry Potter books are, you probably live under a rock or in a cave and you aren't watching this. But originally, J.K. Rowling was very hands-on with all of the works being done. She was very hands-on with the movies. She was very hands-on with the theme parks. She's not someone who immediately sold her IP. Cough, cough, Lucas.
Yeah.
Fucking Lucas. Bitch. Fucking Star Wars hack bastard. And it's not short of money because she's been offered many blank checks, billions of dollars to sell it, and she just refuses because she knows that it'll be tarnished. So when you say, well, she's not doing anything, she kind of can't. So if you don't know, she got in a lot of trouble because she's anti-trans. She's known as what as a TERF, which is like, what is it, trans exclusive radical feminist, which basically means you're a feminist who doesn't think trans people should, are real. You think they're mentally ill. You just don't think they exist. You think it's men pretending to be women and trying to invade their space, which, it's kind of funny that, feminism was... Anyways, whatever.
Listen, Doug. She needs to get off Twitter. She needs to go live her life.
Yeah, well, now I'm hoping that she can, because she got blackballed by everybody because of what she said about trans people, and now that's kind of being lifted, and guess what? A bunch of deals are coming her way. So I'm hoping she does get off Twitter and just starts making content for us, because to be honest...
You just said she has a bunch of money. She can go do whatever she wants. She's not getting blackballed by anyone.
It's not her. She doesn't care to. Otherwise, she would have just sold the IP. She's a weirdo. Harry Potter books are like the best-selling series in the world next to the Bible. Actually, I think they're sold more than the Bible or some shit. Like, it's insane how many books they've sold.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, do something with your fucking life, man.
Like, they won't even let her. I mean, what do you mean by do something? Do you mean like go to space? Go to the ocean?
No, go travel. Go do something. Write another book. Get a hobby. Go do something.
Oh, yeah, sure. But they wouldn't sell is the problem. I mean, I guess she could start her own publication.
Elon's already always on fucking Twitter. It's like, dude,
that's not him. That's not him, dude. Please don't be one of those people. That's not him. He's paying somebody else to fucking type all that nonsense. I'm sure sometimes it's him, but let's be honest.
I hope whoever he's paying is getting compensated enough, because that would drive me insane.
I'm sure they are, dude. There's no shot he's fucking tweeting literally every single minute of the day. I'm like, it's just not. Come on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, hell, it could just be fucking Grok.
I don't disagree with you. I would prefer both of them and many others to get off Twitter and start creating again. However, there have been a lot of obstacles put in place of them. Like the government trying to crack down on Elon, and like all of every single sector in the industry trying to blackball poor J.K. Rowling. So, yeah, you're right. Maybe there's some things she could have done to skirt around it, but I can understand the hesitancy and not doing it. And I respect her for not selling her IP, because it would have been really easy to just take an even bigger paycheck. To care about something you created that much is impressive. There's not many people who would be unwilling, especially I'm sure you can, you'd be willing to sell off for $100, I'm sure.
Sell what for $100?
I don't know, your identity, your voice, whatever.
Doug, if there is an AI, they already have my identity.
Okay.
Sell it? To who? They already has it.
Well, technically,
Rocco's Basilisk, Doug.
Okay. Whatever.
Rocco's Basilisk, Doug. It's happening.
J.K. Rowling, I respect you. Good for you, man. That wasn't even on the list, by the way. That wasn't even on the list. We also have the FSU shooting that happened. Do you know much about that? Because I, unfortunately, do not. FSU being Florida State University.
Yeah, essentially it was the son of a deputy, but if you look at him, he's kind of like, you can tell he's a little bit mental. He looked as retarded as the kid that shot Trump. I can show you a picture of him somewhere. Sure.
Well, can you describe the event?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Wow, that's the flattest face I've ever seen.
See? What did I tell you? Ask the media why it's using old photos of the FSU shooter smiling and not the more recent ones where he's wearing MAGA merch. Yeah, you can see this guy definitely has some form of downs. Like, come on, Doug, just...
There's not really much you can do to stop unless you revolt. Was rabidly anti-Trump. Phoenix previously talked. Dude. It's interesting how many people who look like this are anti-Trump. He was also documented as taking part in anti-Trump, pro-Palestine protests on campus. Wow. Okay. Okay. We can get into a little thing about gun control here, because this is something that kind of annoys me. And it's something that I think annoys the gun community, because, first of all, just heads up, the gun community actually doesn't like Trump. They hate the other side more, but Trump's not very pro-guns either. And this is in both his terms, where he kind of hints that he is, and then they actually kind of backstab the poor gun community. I feel bad for you guys. Here's the thing about this, though. There's no reason that the deputy shouldn't get charged for these murders, too.
Yeah.
Sorry, if your kid takes your gun and kills a bunch of people, you should be charged.
Yeah, not only that,
That's my
you're a
feelings.
retarded kid. You had your gun stolen by a retarded kid.
Yeah. Only, yes, a bonus. I mean, I think it's so crazy that no one really says that out loud. I feel like it's wild that I'm the only one who I think actively says that. I've heard somebody argue that guns should be have insurance, and that should kind of act as a bonus buffer. But I just think, quite plainly, if your gun is stolen and then it's used for murder, especially one of two things: one, someone in your house steals it, you should be charged. Or two, if your gun is stolen from your home and you don't report it, you should be charged. Just the end of story. It's a weapon and you're responsible for it. You should be, tried if you're irresponsible with it. That's just how it should be, right? If your gun accidentally goes off and it fucking plugs somebody in the back of the head, you're charged with manslaughter. You can't just be like, oh, it's not my fault. It's the same thing, man. If somebody comes in, your retarded son takes your gun somehow and then goes onto a campus and starts lighting, you should be fucking charged for every single one of those people. You should be charged. It's your fault. You have a responsibility. I think it's so wild that, this just keeps happening and no one can find a solution because the left just wants to ban all guns, which is fucking, of course they do. They're tyrannous. And then the right, or I don't know if you want to consider the current right or, the true right, they're also slipping when it comes to the Second Amendment and just not caring. It's just so, this stuff is so wild to me, particularly.
Yeah, I don't know, Doug. I think it doesn't matter what the CIA, the NSA, or the FBI does to these retarded kids. No one's giving up their guns. There's more guns than there are people, you morons.
Yeah.
You're wasting your time. The PSYOP ain't gonna work, buddy. It ain't. You're tossing fucking oranges at a brick wall hoping it's gonna collapse. It's a fucking brick wall.
Yeah. And by the way, all gun control is illegal. True story. True fucking story.
Very true.
I'm just throwing that out there. I've been kind of saving some of the pop culture stuff, but would you like to jump into one of them?
Sure.
And I will let you choose. We can talk about a new game or annoying.
I don't care about Oblivion. I don't care about Oblivion.
I don't know what that is. So
never mind. Okay, which game were you talking about?
I'm not going to tell you now, just because I want your immediate reaction. So I will let you choose between a game or more streamer content.
Yeah. Streamer content. I know you like talking about your streamers. So
Yes. I love it. I can't help myself. Pokimane is back in the news again. She just can't help herself. This time, she says...
No. No, I don't want to hear about this bitch anymore.
Yes,
I don't care.
Put her up. Picture camera. Put her up.
God damn it. Fuck
Pokimane. This is gonna be our longest running consistent segment, I feel like. Pokimane is back in the news again. However, we got a nice double hitter tonight. First, the biggest one that has popped up is she says she hates the rich. Now, why don't you go ahead and find the clip? Should be pretty easy to find.
Oh boy. Is it this one?
Yeah. All right, let's listen to this.
That in America? Right? It's getting there, right?
You already have one.
Another one.
What's going on?
The wealth disparity is getting bad.
The wage gap, I hate that shit.
No, wealth disparity.
Wealth disparity.
Wage gap is like between men and women. Men and women, we love each other.
Facts.
And we hate the rich. Anyway. Too much.
Aren't you the rich?
No!
Even this guy is like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yes. So, Pokimane on the left. That guy there is Jason the Weenie. That's his name. He's funny. I don't know. I've seen him in a few things, but
Even this guy's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He like takes a second to comprehend what you just said.
yes.
Like the ultra rich, the ultra giga rich, the
You have to
unnecessarily
clarify.
rich.
They're gonna clip that and it's gonna make you look bad.
Oh,
It already looks bad.
You
The
gotta
ultra
say
giga
you
rich.
gotta say the billionaires.
the billionaires.
you are rich.
The Bezos.
You can't be saying that.
I am.
Even this guy's like, oh my god.
So, I mean, he spells it out for us. We don't really need to go that crazy. She's rich, by the way. She gets deals from the biggest companies, including Amazon, Nike. And I can go on and on and on. She has her own makeup. I mean, you know, she's basically Gwyneth Paltrow when it comes to business. Yeah. And she's known as being a monster in the industry, similar to Gwyneth Paltrow, to be honest with you. She's very misleading in her products. She's quite the pretentious little asshole. And she went viral for saying here that she hates the rich.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. You hate the rich, Pokimane. Yeah. I think she's just trying to... I don't even know. It's really hard for me to tell if this chick is just dumb or what, man. Like, I really genuinely... I can't tell if she's doing it on purpose or if she's just dumb. And it bothers me so much that I can no longer tell the difference between the people who are intentionally trolling for views and just pure stupidity. I can't genuinely tell the difference anymore.
She's a thirst trap cosplaying as a political commentator and a feminist at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's pretty much her existence. No matter how much money you have, no amount of money can buy you a soul. Sorry.
She's also an asshole in general. Like in the same video, like later on, or something she said today. She was like, "I really wish I could bring all my streamer friends with me out to France," and it's like you're
France. You want to get your friends killed?
She's currently yeah, that's funny, right? She's currently in France. That's like she's visiting France. But like she can. She's rich. Like by the way. I can't confirm this, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people in the same industry hate her. Just heads up. I'm just putting that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be surprised in like 2 to 5 years from now if a bunch of female streamers start coming out and be like, yeah, Pokimane's a gatekeeping bitch. I would not be surprised if that pops up immediately. She's known as being very fake and an asshole behind the scenes. I'm so sure of it. I am so sure of it. But yeah, yeah, go ahead.
She's like the default female character creator and character selector or whatever.
I hate her. She's so annoying, man. Just
Doug,
shut up.
Hate people. You shouldn't hate Pokemon.
I can't help myself.
You can't. Listen, Doug. Jesus says to not hate anyone. It's okay to be disgusted by people, but don't hate them.
Okay, I'm disgusted by her. What's the difference? What would be the difference?
Disgusted means you're disappointed, you know, by their character.
And
whereas
hate means
hate means that you despise them for their character. And
okay,
you associate them with their soul.
Okay, I hate her. Okay, yeah, I hate her.
All right, no, that's it. We're pulling up Jesus quotes.
She has a
Pope
bad
is dead.
soul.
It's time for some Jesus quotes.
I think she has a terrible soul. Just throwing that out there. There are some people who I think are malicious intentionally. There are people who I think are malicious unintentionally. I think she's malicious.
Love your neighbor as yourself.
Well, I don't live near her.
Do to others as you would have them do to you.
Not really doing
Ask
anything
and
to
it
her.
will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open.
Not really asking
Love
for
your
anything.
enemies. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Well, sounds like it's more for her than me.
With man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible.
Okay. None of those really applied.
They don't have to apply, Doug. They're just supposed to inspire you. They're like inspirational quotes you see on Facebook. You just read them every now and then. They give you some inspiration to keep moving forward.
Well, now I'm just envisioning all the retribution that could come her way. In the name of God.
No, I don't think God cares enough to do anything.
That's fair. Yeah. That's her big thing. She just can't help herself, I'm sure. But
I gotta adjust my profile. 1 second. I gotta edit my profile.
What are you gonna put some pro-Israeli stuff in there?
Yeah. Israeli flag emoji.
All right, and now we will talk about. Well, we talked about Pope Francis. Let me take that off.
Okay, how do I copy this? Wait, what am I doing? I can just go over here and just create a post, right? I create a post.
The U.S. withdraws from the WHO, which is the World Health Organization, which actually it really isn't that big of news. Maybe it is. I don't really know, but this is typically something Trump does. He did this last term too, and it's just under the guise that the WHO is, a globalist fucking. Actually, it's like an arm of the Chinese propaganda machine, to be honest with you. And then the WHO immediately had to announce that they were laying off a bunch of people, which I find so funny. So the U.S. obviously is like the biggest funder of the WHO, and the U.S. is like, yeah, we're not funding you anymore. And then the WHO had to like announce that they were cutting a bunch of people, which is fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah, WHO didn't work out too well for him.
No, and we also have the cutting.
Ooh, fertility rate.
Fertility rates, yeah. So this is yeah. So for the first time, I believe in all 50 states, the fertility rates are at 54 births.
Yeah.
Per 1,000. So it's like one of the lowest I think we've had.
Utah has the sharpest drop at 33.9%. Jesus Christ, what's happening in Utah to get everyone's dicks flaccid?
Illegals got deported. This is a growing problem throughout the world where nobody's having babies except Africa and the Middle East. And it'll be interesting to see what proposals they put in place to remedy this. One of the ones that I saw was getting floated around, I don't know if this is true or not because, the rumor mill never stops cooking, but they were saying that the Trump administration was looking into give a $5,000 bonus to anyone who had a baby post-birth.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if that's a really good way to get people to have babies. And maybe it is a good way to get people to have babies. I don't know if it's a safe way to get people to have babies. I feel like all of a sudden you probably get a bunch of people having babies and then putting them up for adoption, and I'm not really sure we need that to happen.
Yeah. I think we just need to make sure that Israel gets more money.
Yeah, that'll solve the problem, I think.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Doug. I have to pull up that video. Where is it? Like, I swear to God, where is it?
Wasn't it at the top?
No, that wasn't it.
Thought it. Huh.
Let's see. Come on.
Huh.
No, this isn't it.
God. I don't think we can show it. Huh. I know which one you're talking about.
I don't know where it is. I refuse to believe. 1 second. 1 second. I refuse to believe this doesn't exist somewhere. Come on. Wow, this is actually incredibly difficult to find, Doug. I'm actually shocked. Oh, here it is. TikTok. Why does TikTok have it, but not YouTube? Whatever.
Curious. Very curious.
I have nothing left. Except Israel.
Israel just asked for another $10 billion, sir.
Tell him it's on the way.
Do the one? Fuck. What? There's an Avengers one. I can't remember. Oh, he like walks in, and he's like, "Sir, Mr. President, Green Goblin is currently attacking New York." And then the dude slams on the desk and goes, "What? Send $50 billion to Israel right now."
Yeah.
See if you can find it. I'm sure that
I
would
can
be
probably
even
find it.
harder. But that one's so fucking funny. He said,
I
"What?
love it.
So 50 billion Israel right now." Holy
Why does TikTok
shit.
have all this shit?
Probably because they don't
Mr.
censor as much. Yes, this is it. This is it.
Oh, this one.
Mr. President, what is it? Green Goblin is attacking New York City. What? He's causing mass destruction right now. Should we alert Spider-Man? No. Send $50 billion to Israel right now.
That shit's so good, man. Oh my lord.
That is hilarious.
So, I don't want to burn everybody out. We also talk about the game I want to talk about. You ready for this? Hopefully you are interested in this one too. It's RuneScape, DragonWilds. You hear about this?
Dog shit game.
Yeah, I think it kind of looked kind of poo-poo. Can you pull up a backdrop while we talk about it? Of the game?
Sure.
Some gameplay. So, RuneScape, which maybe most of you know, was sort of like a browser version of World of Warcraft. Very discount, nothing crazy. However, it was still considered like the poor man's WoW. At least for me, it was. I have a little bit of a nostalgia when it comes to RuneScape because I played it was probably like one of the first, games I got into. But the company finally released a new game, and to be honest, it's still very much like a discount RPG MMO or whatever. I don't know what the game is. A survival game.
It's trying to be like a RPG version of like Rust or Ark.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, it's just like, dude, there's already so many survival games
I
out
know.
there. Forest, Ark.
I know.
Minecraft, you could just play fucking Minecraft if you wanted to. You have more creativity allowed in that game than this. It's like, oh boy, another survival game. Woo! It has RuneScape attached to the name, which makes it better, I guess. Like, look, what are you doing in this game? Oh, I'm surviving.
Well, okay. Well, disclaimer: it is beta. Is it in beta? So, but you're all right. That pretty much. Well, it's actually in beta because you get a tax exemption while it's in beta.
A little bitch of a
Okay,
game.
sure.
That's why.
Sure, that too. But yeah, I don't know. The gameplay's been kind of lackluster in my opinion. I don't really know what it doesn't stand out as something that's independent other than slapping the RuneScape name on it. And even then, it's different than RuneScape. Like it's. I mean, how old is RuneScape? It's gotta be fucking like 20 years old, though. I mean, I'm probably exaggerating, but like that game is so old, and this game is come out so far after that it literally could not be similar. Like it's not possible if you make a game that's similar. Well, I actually could. Maybe they should have.
It would
Instead of doing
do really
this.
bad and not make much money at all.
You don't think if they made a first-person, 3D version of RuneScape, or like a more modern version of it, it would have been.
I think they already tried to do that and it just kind of flopped.
Yes and no, but yeah, I do see what you're saying. Yeah,
Once
I
again,
don't. Yeah.
Yeah, another survival game. Whoop-de-fucking-do.
There are like a billion of these, and I think this game's biggest problem is that it doesn't try and stand out enough for for it to matter at all. This field is this genre is so flooded.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you gotta come up with something else.
Somebody's in our chat right now, they wrote, "Guys, I wish the assassin killed Trump. He's a traitor. Respond to Gluten Boy. I am Gluten Boy. Hear me roar."
Gluten Boy? Who the fuck is Gluten Boy? What the?
I don't know. He's popping off in the chat. GL, like Gluten Boy, no spaces, 22. He's pissed. Gluten Boy wants to be noticed. You have been noticed, Gluten Boy.
Gluten Boy? No, I'm looking for. Are you sure? Is this? Am I spelling it right? Is it with an I?
No, you spelled it right. No, it's not boy. It's normal boy. BOY, not I.
Like this? Exactly like this.
Yeah.
Is this person a bot?
I don't know.
It says Gluten Boy 22 did not match any documents. Is that his actual username?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is his name here.
Are you sure? Maybe he's using an I to replace the G.
I guess.
Nope. I don't know who the fuck this guy is. Probably a bot. Seems like a bot.
I want to believe he tried to trigger us by saying, the Trump thing, and I just hope he keeps popping around to different podcasts and streams and just says that and tries to trigger them. Good for you, dude.
Listen, I don't care if Trump dies or lives. All I care about is that my stock goes up. All that matters.
And so that we can send the money to Israel.
Listen, Gluten Boy, if you're going to kill Trump, at least let me know beforehand. That way I can put out some leverages and some quick shorts on the stock market beforehand. Okay, buddy?
Stocks did go up today. I know, because I made $100 doing nothing. It was fantastic.
Excellent job, Doug. Excellent job. That's right. Fuck the stock market in the ass like it deserves.
No. Well, I mean, yes, but give me heads up first. That's my favorite part. I love it when Trump tells me he's going to fuck the stock market, and then I can pull my money out and then, buy in during the lows. And, well, yeah, I'm not familiar with the shorting thing, but yeah.
More shorts.
Anyways, go back to the RuneScape gameplay. Gluten Boy distracted us. Gosh darn it, Gluten Boy.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, oh, he's running. He's running through the... oh, there's some birds.
The gameplay is extremely lackluster. I've watched streams because I thought, hey, this will be good. I think the world is nice, but it feels really empty, and the gameplay kind of feels shallow. Everything is, pretty basic stuff. I don't even think it's poorly designed, but it's just not designed to stand out in a backdrop of a billion different survival games. It looks nice enough,
Once again, he's just running.
It is funny. The gameplay is just him running. I mean, you can maybe go to Twitch and pull up a stream. Is that legal? Can you actually watch a stream and react to someone else streaming? Yeah, probably not. But
I'm not gonna risk it. Yeah. Oh, there was a person. Oh, he just ran past him. He's still running.
The gameplay is extremely shallow, even from an RPG. I don't understand the point of the game, and I think that's kind of a more massive problem. There's
now, if they made it
yeah, go ahead.
Like if they made it like an MMORPG where you spawn into a city, you might have some background with that, something to do. But here you're kind of just like it's like a partied instance. So it's like, why would I not just play Minecraft?
I really don't know. I know it has like a dungeon crawler element to it, but even the dungeon crawling is there are just better dungeon crawlers out there. Diablo stands out as one. Yeah. Diablo is probably one of the better dungeon crawlers you could play. In general, is just a ton of dungeon crawlers. To be honest, I think Dark and Darker serves this game, this specific genre better than this game. So
it's just kind of it's like it's a whatever game.
Yeah, and it's $30, which is still it's actually not that bad, but that's still a price that I think you get. That Rust? Well, how much is Rust? How much is
20 to 40? I can't remember. I got it for $20 in alpha back in the day. Arc is I don't think anyone plays Arc anyway. I think it's kind of a dead game.
Yeah. I mean, those communities are always, they're never completely dead, but yes.
Everyone's probably playing fucking Elder Scrolls Oblivion remastered.
Probably.
Yeah. That game looks actually good.
The game draws heavy inspiration from RuneScape in terms of the crafting. So it has all the same, you can cook and level up. You got your wood chopping and your crafting. It did draw from all those systems. It just doesn't go anywhere. And I agree with you where it's if you recreate the original, world. I can't remember what that specific, Garthura or whatever. I can't remember what it was called. But the original game map, and then you use that as a world hub, and you kind of bounced off from that and, made it a regular MMO, I think you stand a better chance than doing what they did here, where you you have this open world survival dungeon crawling game. This is, this is Pow World. Pow World's another one that I think serves the same purpose, but probably does a better job.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
It's
good.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's once again, it's a diluted market, and you're not really introducing any new elements or connectivity or social elements to the game. So it's I think they couldn't even bother to make a specific font for the username above people's heads. It's it looks like something that someone just typed out and put a text box over the head in Microsoft Word or something. It's I don't know, dude. Maybe it'll be good at some point, but it's kind of whatever.
Yeah.
It's like the game market is just becoming like it's kind of becoming sort of like the gasoline companies. There used to be a bunch of them, and now there's only like 2. That's kind of how gaming has turned into. I always look to Solinome. I always go to Solinome to check to see what the games are doing by popularity.
What is this?
So this shows you what the watch time for each game.
Oh.
So the most watch time has been for League of Legends with about 18.6 million hours. And then you scroll on the list, you can see the numbers. Minecraft has 6.7 million. Last Epoch has 6.3 million. It's up 1.4,000%. Yeah, Overwatch 2, World of Warcraft, Teamfight Tactics, Schedule 1, Blueprints, Rainbow Six Siege, Dark and Darker, Hearthstone, PoE 2.
I am kind of curious how these larger game companies start to. So what's going on right now, for those who don't even really play video games, is there are so many games out, specifically multiplayer games and large-scale multiplayer games, where it's getting kind of hard to capitalize on, one, the announcement of a new game, which used to be. It was so rare that a new MMO came out or MOBA came out that when it did come out, everybody flocked to check it out, right? Like right away, Overwatch 2, whoa, go check it out. Gotta go check it out. Marvel Rivals, whoa, gotta go check it out. Valorant, wow, go and check it out. That was just always the common mentality. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't really know. That doesn't really drag as many viewers over or players anymore, and then on top of that, the retention rate it's much less, and because there's so many of these games out, and the player base is spread so thinly at this point that I think I don't really know how game developers kind of continue with these large scale efforts where they're putting in hundreds of millions of dollars in some cases, and still expect the million people turnouts that a lot of them are used to. I don't know what the solution to this is, but I think we are starting to see it where, I think people will stop playing DragonWilds within a month, and it'll probably just die. To be honest with you, like it'll just die before it's even fully released.
Yeah, I mean, where is it even? It started out at 2.7, so it hasn't updated yet. So see where it ends up.
I mean, the fact that it's not at front page already is kind of like sad.
I mean, top 50 I consider to be front page, so I mean, I'll give it that. But top 25 is really where you want to be. I think it was at like 27.
But a game that just came out and is in beta, it should be at the top. It should literally be. I don't know about all the way at the top, but it should be pretty close.
This is the same people that didn't really even have a hold over their administrators or moderators for Jagex, because they were just like manipulating the gold market and stuff like that, and taking buyouts and handouts or payments for things.
I don't know what you're referring to here.
There was an issue with a Jagex administrator doing some shady things on Discord with like he was like running his own like Discord mod type of deal or whatever on the Discord server. Just shady stuff in general, but that's just internal issues with Jagex, not necessarily with the game.
I think,
but it just kind of,
I think what's crazy is they had, so Jagex is the name of the company that owns RuneScape, but they also had a bunch of other games that they had created. I forget what the website was called. Maybe it was just jagex.com. But they had a bunch of Flash games that they had put out, and to be honest, they were kind of fun. I was kind of addicted. They had a game called Arcanist where you'd fucking play different elemental wizards, and you it's turn-based where you'd throw spells and shit at each other one by one. They had a kind of like a Civ type Flash game where you commanded a little army and moved into places. I mean, they put out a bunch of Flash games, and they just shut it down without converting them. When the Flash game industry died. They just killed it, and they're like, well, fuck it, we don't care. And obviously they spent a lot of time on this, but I mean, what is this?
I mean, at the end of the day, like for example, Path to Exile 2 is a 90 gigabyte game, right? It has insanely good graphics, and it has its own like the same Path to Exile system or whatever. And everyone, when it came out, it's fucking huge, and it's still kind of big. However, Last Epoch, a lesser known company with a 23 gigabyte game, just came out with the second season, the update to their base game, and they are absolutely demolishing Path to Exile with 3 times the amount of watch time in the past week since the last Epoch Season 2 release. And it's a a company with not as much money or resources, with less file size, being literally almost a fifth of the PoE 2 file size, but people enjoy the game more because it's simple, easy to understand. They can jump right into it. They can start collecting gear, and they can start crafting and doing all that kind of stuff pretty much immediately. Whereas in PoE 2, it's kind of it's a dredge. It's literally a dredge. Everything wants to kill you. It's super easy to die if you're not careful. You're forced to build incredibly defensive and min-max your gear if you're doing solo self-found. Or you can just be a tradie and just trade all your gear away like that. And just get whatever you want. But
Go to
last Epoch-
repo too.
Yeah.
Where's repo on this?
It's 26.
Yeah, I mean,
Right above
Repo.
the 22.
Well, see, even that's kind of funny. Repo, I don't know which company made that game. I doubt it even was a company. If you know what Repo is, have you seen Repo?
Yeah, I play it all the time.
Okay, so you're familiar. Go ahead and explain what Repo is for them. It's got to be made by 1 or 2 people, right? Can't be.
Yeah, it's made by it's physics based, so I don't know how many people made it, but it's essentially a game where it's like Lethal Company. You're like a robot in an abandoned, humanless world, and you visit different places in a truck.
Can you show a little gameplay?
Yeah, I'll show some gameplay.
It's a real cheap game, and I'm not using cheap as in a derogatory sense here. I just mean it's cheaply made and it's a lot of fun. And we won't play the audio because we'll get demonetized. But I mean,
essentially, you can see there's a cart. You're supposed to fill up the cart with valuables and not break the valuables. You can drop stuff and break it. And essentially, you place it inside the cart and you bring it to the extraction point and you extract it and you get the money. And once you finish all the extraction zones, then you get to leave and move to the next level, which is level 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever. And it's a pretty simple game, a lot like Lethal Company. It's better though, I would say. For the most part, it's very well coded. There's not really many bugs or glitches with it at all. So it's definitely a very fun game.
And it's beating out RuneScape on the map. And this is, I just had a really positive thought. You know how there's the theory that as AI kind of starts taking over and producing stuff for us, people will just become more social. They will focus on more of the social aspect of our humanity. I think this kind of shows that, to be honest with you. These games are in particular are becoming more popular, and I think part of the reason is that they're so cheap to make, and people are starting to value the social aspect a little more than the big flashy single player, or even the competitive kind of big company games. There's some value in it. I mean, you can't argue that, right? These games keep coming up as popular.
There's a social they do. They're fun games and they're social oriented. I don't know if AI is related to that or not.
Well, so I'm not explaining the connection entirely well, but here's the idea. There are some people who think that as AI takes over and it makes it easier to produce stuff, that people will have a lot of free time. And
I just want AI to cook my hamburger. I don't want AI to make movies or TV or write books. I just want you to make my hamburger and just shut up.
Whatever. The part of the theory is that you'd get more free time, which by however means you expect that free time for you to increase. And people are wondering how that free time would be spent.
Honestly, Doug, if I had more free time, I would not be socializing. I would be flicker gooning, vaping, and playing video games and gambling.
Right. That's the other theory. The negative one is that that's what people spend time doing. The positive,
wait, negative? What's negative about gambling?
The positive one is that they would instead do it socializing. And I think these games in particular, these real cheap stand against the machine games becoming popular kind of shows that is possible. Because, I mean, these games are obviously not made for nearly as much as the big budget games, and they're more centered around the social part than anything else. It's sad that RuneScape DragonWilds comes from an originally socially based MMORPG, and has reduced itself to a, I don't even know, survival dungeon crawler, which it kind of wants to project itself as a group friend game, but nobody wants to play it. And if you're
Yeah.
going to have a game like that, then it has to be fun to play. The game's not fun to play.
Yeah.
This is, and this is made for probably a tenth of the price.
Yeah. Listen, it's like at the end of the day, the thing that these game studios always fail to understand is that there's a difference between realistic development and conceptual development. And too often these game studios will come up with an idea and they'll have a bunch of yes men surrounding the meeting table or whatever you want to call it, the office table. And they're all saying, yep. And it's like, okay, the concept has been agreed upon, which means the concept is great because we agreed upon it, which means we should develop it based on the concept. And we shouldn't try to focus on any realistic testing or any sort of control group or variable group that is placed into a room to, mess with our conceptual development at all. So it always ends up failing for the most part, right? Like Concord is a great example of the conceptual development that failed. And then you have realistic development. I can assure you the people who developed Repo and Lethal Company probably played the game as they were testing it just to see how it felt.
So
they
were
like, yeah, does this feel fun to me? Am I enjoying this? Because you see, the thing is with these big, brand name companies, they're gonna pay people, and these people, they don't have a job if they say, no, this game sucks, right?
Yeah.
They have to say yes. That's what they're getting paid for. So of course they're gonna put on their suit and tie and be like, oh yeah, excellent game, excellent craftsmanship by the developers. Let me taste the wine. An excellent soiree of RuneScapiness. Yes, the survival element was truly sublime. I enjoyed running through the forest. Yes. Because when I play a game, all I want to do is relax and drink wine as I run through the forest some more. I'm holding a staff. This makes me feel like a powerful wizard.
Which is funny. So again, you kind of bring up, indirectly, I think you bring up the point of like, I bet while someone was playing this game, they're testing it.
Yeah.
It was probably more than one person. It's probably friends that are kind of fucking around and having fun. While people are testing the other game, it's just some fucking loser who probably has no friends and is just a paid shill.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it goes even deeper than that. How I imagine that these games get made, the bad ones, is that somebody sat down and said, and they saw the success of Fortnite, Rust, Ark, whatever, Minecraft in general is probably like what soon to be the first one. They probably saw that success and they were like, well, let's do that. That tends to be what happens, is where someone who already has an IP just says, okay, let's just take this IP and turn it into whatever's most popular, whether it's a MOBA or a shooter or a survival game or an MMORPG. And then that it just, whenever a game starts that high up and works its way down, it just becomes a problem, because you just have this big old CEO who just goes, why don't we have a survival game? My son said he'd play Fortnite. I want Fortnite game, but with RuneScape style. Like, okay, that stuff never works. Never, ever works. It does not work. I mean, this shit is fucking hilarious. I watch this shit all the time, and I think it's great. The content that comes from that is funny.
Like, if you're selling a game to birds, you make the game involve flying somehow. You don't make the game involve digging, because birds don't dig, they fly. When you're selling a game to humans, you don't make it an alien type of game. You make it a human type of game that humans enjoy, not aliens, because you're selling it to humans, not aliens.
Yeah.
That's why politics doesn't work in games either. Let's make a game that only appeals to a fringe political sector of people, that, when in reality, people that play games are trying to get away from politics. So you've not only have you injected politics into the game, you've injected fringe politics into the game that only appeals to people who agree with the fringe politics. So only those people are going to buy the game. You've completely alienated the rest of your potential buyers. It's like, dude, just make a fucking game that's good and make it so that it appeals to humans, not to fucking aliens.
They can't. They don't know how. It's not possible. They don't know how. And again, I think it just comes from the top-down problem, where this game was made by probably a bunch of people just fucking around, and the big games are the CEO just saying, "Hey, why don't we have this type of game?" And
The perfect example of this is Neptune versus SpongeBob.
Oh
Did you ever
yeah.
watch the Neptune versus
Yeah, I know what
SpongeBob?
you're talking about. Yeah.
Neptune has all these dolphins, this grand theatrics.
Yeah.
Sending
Exactly.
out a bunch of burgers to the crowd, and the crowd eats it, and it tastes horrendous. SpongeBob takes his time. He makes one really solid burger. Neptune eats it, and it brings him to fucking tears because of how good it was. Yeah, that's the difference. You can't take the soul out of something and expect people to like it.
Yep, I agree. It sucks though. It sucks seeing because I was a fan of RuneScape. In a way, it was like the first kind of social game I'd say I played.
Yeah.
So it sucks seeing. I mean, this just story of our childhood growing up. I guess is just watching these guys fucking butcher the shit out of every single IP that you liked. Is just watching them destroy it in 10K. And I'm sure the crazy part is, it's so mind-boggling now that you realize how much money is wasted on insanely stupid shit. I mean, that game probably cost what? Even if it costed $20 million to make, which I'm sure it costed more, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure it costed more to make that.
Yeah.
Dude, these guys, you probably could have paid a bunch of rando fucking basement-dwelling neckbeards, $1,000 a piece. They would have been willing to make you a better game. Like, it's just so wild. So crazy.
Yeah.
But hey, fuck them. I don't care. As long as these guys keep making these games, these little indie developers, and with the use of AI to help automate a lot of it, I just don't see how the big boys are supposed to keep up.
If I'm being honest, the only time in my life I have seen something that was like multi-millions of dollars was spent to develop it, right? And it ended up, not only, they broke even, they made a huge fucking profit off of it. Is the Minecraft movie. The only thing I've seen in my life that managed to do
GTA.
to create horrendous
GTA makes a fuck ton of money every time it releases a game, and it costs a bunch of money to make.
Yeah, but that's different. I'm talking about something that is so absolutely horrendous. That is just such a bad fucking movie. The Minecraft movie is the only thing to completely destroy the logic of this world, Doug. I'll tell you that right now. It's the only movie that has destroyed the logic of the world. They made a terrible movie. They spent way too much fucking money. They sent it out in the theaters, and everyone fucking loved and hated it at the same time, to the point where it not only broke even, but it made over, I think, $200 million at this point, which is insanity.
Yeah.
The logic of this world has been broken. We are living in a different timeline since the release of the Minecraft movie.
Since the release of the Minecraft movie?
Yes, we've switched timelines again. The timeline is deteriorating, Doug. Listen, the timeline first started deteriorating in 1996.
Why?
And then again, I think in 2008. I don't know what happened in 1996. All I know is it was in 1996.
I have a brother who was born in 96. Was it his fault?
I have no clue. It might be. Listen, Doug, the timeline. This is the timeline before 1996, and then 1996 hit, and we veered off. Then the good timeline where 9/11 doesn't happen continues, and then we went to the 9/11 timeline. Boop, and then 9/11 timeline went to dystopia timeline. Boop, technology keeps advancing again. Another timeline. Boop. So now we're just in the shittiest fucking timeline where logic doesn't make any sense anymore. The Minecraft movie is making a bunch of money. Jack Black's in it. Jack Black's a pedophile. Everyone's fucking. It's crazy.
Allegedly. Allegedly. We don't know if he is.
Obviously, everything I say is satire. But listen, that's the whole point. Is logic has gone out the window. Nothing makes sense anymore.
I don't know. I have no idea. I think it's interesting. I just watch events unfold and judge them. But...
yeah. Such is the future.
Such a sad note to leave on. I don't really want to.
All right, well, let's look at a better note, Doug. Let's check my notifications on YouTube.
Why the hell would that be better?
Oh yeah, I made a comment on a video. How can I gamble on this? Like first, I guess Kakaguri is coming out with a live action. If you don't know what Kakaguri is, it probably means you're not a weeb.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, Netflix always takes good things and ruins them.
Well, are there any games coming out that looked good? You know.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, let's look up some upcoming games and be hopeful for some of them. Because again, I almost wish some of these big developers would put money into social games like this. Because there's so much, I think there's so much value in it. I don't know how you keep them going and unique, but
we have a social game called Sunderfolk, which is kind of like use your phone and your TV to play Dungeons and Dragons, kind of.
Really? That's good.
Yeah. Called Sunderfolk. There is one good game.
Doll's Nest. What is this? Japanese?
This is it's an upcoming game.
I think we have to be careful with audio. There's some rule on YouTube where you can only watch for 9 seconds and then you have to pause it and talk about it.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
My limbs ripped off. Yeah, this is the only good looking game I could find.
What is this?
And so, I have no clue.
No. Looks like an Ori and the Wisps, or whatever that game is called.
I think it's like a mecha combined with Nier Automata or something like that.
Okay. Maybe what we think are good games. It's a little different. Oh, I think I saw Donkey cover this at some point.
I don't know. To me, this looks pretty dope. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it looks cool. It's just very outside the bounds of what we were talking about. It's just like none of the categories we covered. The human experience in general when it comes to entertainment, as the big industries fall and the lower industry. I think what's happening right now should kind of show you what's going to happen in the future as AI makes it super cheap to make these decent quality games, or at least fun. And these big companies who don't put any money into it just struggle to actually make quality content. That should kind of be the fucking...
You can see Sunderfolk.
This is the D&D game?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Interesting. I don't really see how it's D&D related, to be honest with you. I wouldn't necessarily call this D&D for what I'm looking at.
Kind of similar.
No,
I don't know what else to call it. So.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say this looks like more of a turn-based RPG.
Yeah, me and Matt played Fly Night.
I don't know what that is.
It's like an indie game. It took us like less than an hour and a half to beat. It was
It's a dungeon crawler, roguelike or whatever.
Yeah, it's like Dark Souls, except you play as a bug and you have to kill Luminoth.
This is another one. I'm sure this was cheap to make. And I don't mean that derogatory. I think it just costed very little money to make. And it was probably fun, yes?
Yeah, it was fun. Probably beat it very quickly.
How much did it cost?
$6.
I mean, yeah. It's just wild. It's funny watching these big companies, both movie and video game makers, fucking flounder. Absolutely flounder against these much smaller games. But I think it's good. I don't hate on it. I think it's great, to be honest. So.
Yeah. I think we need better games, Doug. We need something good that's going to shake up the entire.
We need an elevation in experience. Is the problem? There's nothing right now that differentiates, the money gap between cheap games and expensive games. There's not in experience anyway. A more expensive game might have better graphics, but that's not really enough to draw people's attention anymore. You need to have a better experience, and they don't have a better experience. People keep talking about how to save the movie theater. The problem that big entertainment has is that it has not improved technologically in experience, man. People used to go to
Yeah.
the theaters because they couldn't have big TVs and surround sound at home, and now they do. People played, big expensive video games because the cheap ones were probably HTML text-based games. It's not like that
Yeah.
anymore. The gap between very cheap games and games that cost hundreds of $1,000,000 is, minimal. At least it's very minimal. They've done nothing to innovate, and I think part of the problem is when it comes to VR, there just hasn't been that transition yet that people are kind of waiting for. And and same with augmented reality, which I think that'll be the kicker right there. Is the new, like the meta things. I think once that technology becomes very much smaller, compartmentalized,
Yeah.
it'll go a lot more mainstream, and I think that'll kind of bridge the gap between big budget and smaller budget games. Maybe, because
Yeah,
again,
I don't
it'll
know.
still be cheap to make them. But go ahead.
Yeah, I had a MetaQuest. I don't know. It just kind of.
It's not enough
kinda got-
content, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Just kind of got boring. All you could really do. Well, for one, you have to have it on your head too, and it kind of just. It's like, okay, you're talking to people or whatever, which is great. That's all you can really do on it is talk to people or play Beat Saber or some other game you really can't play for very long because you got a heavy headset on your head that only has a battery life of like 2 to 4 hours depending on what you're doing. So
Yeah.
it's like maybe once they have like glasses that'll like hook you up and augment you or some shit, maybe, but not yet. We're not there yet.
Yeah, the tech's not quite there, but again, I think it'll be on the entertainment industry. It's the biggest pushers of technological developments, by the way, tend to be the entertainment industry, specifically video games. The reason computer chips are as cheap as they are, it's because of video games. Maybe people may not know that, but that's why they're so cheap. And so it's always useful. It's kind of the purpose of capitalism in general, is that the people who spend the most tend to push the economy in the direction of technological advancements because they pay for it, and then it works its way down the ladder. And we're just missing out on the experience. We just are. We're just missing out on that advancement that moves us a step forward. It's just not cheap enough. It's not, practical at all yet. But
yeah,
we'll
maybe
get
it's
there.
time to go back to the past. Doug.
I don't think so.
Maybe it's time. I think it's time to go back to the past. It's time to realize that maybe the Frutiger era was where we needed to be all along.
I disagree. I think we need to get to lasers, the use of laser technology and quantum communications. I think those are the two biggest leaps that we need.
Stop buying digital things. Digital things are worthless. You need to be able to hold something in your hand. You need to be able to put it in the palm of your fucking hand, and that's how you know you own it. Okay? Stop buying digital bullshit. I buy digital bullshit all the time, and I know it's a waste of money. So I believe me, I'm telling you the truth, because I suffer from my own incompetence.
There's you might indirectly be correct. However, I don't think you should buy old stuff. I think you should buy new stuff.
No, buy old stuff, because the old stuff is what they're not going to make like they used to. Okay, the old stuff is good. Like this shit always fucking works. You wanna know why? As long as you got a battery in it, and as long as you got it, you can play whatever mini disc you find. Guaranteed. Stop relying upon these subscription-based services that are draining your bank account and giving you a subpar service that you could get for free using the internet, downloading your music files, and uploading it and burning it onto a disc and playing it yourself. Or a cassette. Whatever you want to choose. At the end of the day, you should be owning your music. It should be downloaded offline on your device, whether it be physically or digitally. Stop buying digital bullshit. You don't need the Amazon subscription. You don't need the Netflix. You don't need the Spotify. You don't need the fucking Jerkmate subscription. You don't need Feet Finder. Listen, get off the bullshit. Get it off. Move forward. Go back to the better days. Save your money.
Yeah, and on that, we will end tonight's episode.